Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Most Pookies are non-select. Now, I wanted to address that. I mentioned it in my podcast yesterday, but I wanted to address that today because there's always this feeling that the Pookies and Ray Rays are getting most of the women, or getting the lion's share of the women. And it is a constant battle. Now, I can understand, as I'm going to get into in this podcast, why some men would perceive it that way. But the reality is, they, for the most part, non-select. Now, I know some people will say, well, I've been seeing them with all these women and stuff. Or is it all the Pookies? Now, there's some Pookie and Ray Rays who are select, but there's only a few. Because most of them, they struggling just like you. Now, in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I said there were two groups in the non-select category. I said that the nice guys and the gamesmen. Meaning the gamesmen are those Pookies and Ray Rays. Meaning the nice guys, they good guys and everything, And, well, decent guys. There's an argument about how good they really are, but, decent. I'll use the term decent. Here's what's happening. A lot of times, they think that the gamesmen, the Pookies and Ray Rays, are the top of the food pyramid. And that's only because of what they actually see. But you're not seeing like the actual guys at the top of the pyramid for simple reasons. Like the guys who are actually select, the good bar types and the money men, you're not going to see them unless you are in those circles. Well, first of all, with the Mr. Good Bars, they move in the shadow world. A lot of times you might not even see them with a woman. You might never see one with a woman if you can even identify him as such. But that dude he's getting his share, and he's getting your share too. Because a whole lot of those Mr. Goodbar types are dipping in with married women with boyfriends, significant others. They going to the parties and stuff. In other words, you ain't going to see them out. So you might not even perceive that women see them as a Mr. Goodbar. I mean, they could be on a job. They can be on a job with a lot of women. That dude done, and I've known quite a few who've like gone through the women on their job, but because the women chose to be discreet and he chose to be discreet, nobody knows anything. Because that's a big part with the good bar thing. So you're not going to see them. You're not going to perceive them. And then the money men, honestly, the money men move in circles that a lot of guys ain't going to touch. Now, remember what I said yesterday I said in the black community, only 5% of men make over 6 figures. And then if you expand that to the greater community, other racial groups, that's only 12%. And see, they not going to hang out at the local barbershop unless they came from that hood. And they ain't going to hang out at the local club or bar or anything. It's two different things. It's two different worlds. In fact, this is a story I told before. When I went, it was one time, it was like 2 nights straight. It was like a Friday night. It was a pool party on a Friday night. Now, this was mostly hood. This sister invited me. So she said, yeah, I'm going to be here. Just come check it out. I checked it out. I was looking at the dudes, mostly Pookies and Ray Rays. Mostly Pookies and Ray Rays. And the women who invited me, she was all right. She had a flat stomach. Every other woman in there, I was just like, ugh. I was like, damn, why they invent swimsuits? Why they invent these women were not all that. And I'm going to get into that thing about the quality of women in a second. Next night, I went to a hotel party. These are upper crust, high post, masters of the universe type of brothers. Shoot, the women, they were like some straight up black Barbie dolls. Now, whereas the party the night before, all I saw was guts hanging out. This one, I had to look hard to find a woman with her guts hanging out. Like flat stomachs, everything, fine. 9s and 10s and up in there. But the thing was, they were in two different circles. Now, see, a lot of dudes talking about, oh yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray. As soon as you say that, I already know you're not moving in that circle. Because any dudes moving that circle, they'll be like, nah, they fine. It's just different places. It's like You're not going. You're just not going to see it. You're not going to see it. A lot of times you don't have that perception. Cause I be listening. You know, when I coach or when I talk to people, I see people. I pay attention to what they do for a living and what circles they travel in. Cause remember, class plays a part in this as well. Like when I see men complaining about women who got like you know how I say it, the 4 kids by 5 men. You gotta be in certain places to even see that. To even encounter that. I don't encounter that on a consistent basis. Or hardly at all, really. In fact, I know I could probably put 100 women in a room who don't have kids at all. And then get that up to another 150, like women who just have 1 kid. But if I say just no kids at all, I could put 100 women into a room. No kids, and they're older, more professional and everything. So, you know, that's not even a thing. Now, see, understand something. It's the quality of women that matter. Because I know people from the Pookies to like Masters of the Universe. The thing there is the quality of the women. Like a lot of dudes complaining about the Pookie and Ray Rays, but I'm like, I'll be looking at their women and be like, thank God for Pookie and Ray Ray. Because I wouldn't mess with them. That's the thing. A lot of these dudes be, you worried about this dude, but I'm like, well, this woman ain't all that, dog. You know, they not those Barbies. They not those 9s and 10s. They not those like high octane 92s and 100s. These are women, the women who be going for them is boom. And even then, if the woman could get at a good bar or she could get at a money man, she'd do it. Because let's be real out here. Let's be real. If a woman could get at some like high post dude who pushing a nice car, live in a nice neighborhood, shit, she gonna try. But the problem is that money man ain't gonna try for her. So a lot of times a woman despite women talking about they want to level up and all of that, they can only go so high. If they don't have a certain level of attractiveness, they ain't leveling up. Their best chance is maybe some bum good bar. Because like I said, you still, like I said in the last video, you do have you got a few Pookie and Ray Rays who might be seen as Mr. Goodbar. But just a few. Most of them are just some guys that the women's going to deal with for lack of options. You know, they're going to settle for it. And so, but if you look overall, because see, here's the thing with women too. They'll still marry, they'll still deal with a non-select dude. They'll marry a non-select dude. The key is how she going to treat him. You know, the select dude is going to get like the lingerie. The select dude is going to get a blowjob. The select dude is going to get French toast in the morning. Shout out C Boogie. That's the select dude. The non-select dude, shoot, he going to get sex 4 times a month if that. If his ass hungry, he better get up and make something. You know, going to catch some hell. And quite frankly, he should do a paternity test. He's going to catch some hell. Because a lot of women will settle. But see, a lot of times what happens is some dude will see a woman with that man and think, oh yeah, he's winning or something. But they don't have the ability to read their body language, or they don't really know what's going on. See, that's another thing. You can't get too caught up in what you see. Like I said, Mr. Goodbar, you know, he rolling in the shadow world. You may never see him with a woman. And there's a whole lot of women getting with some dude and nobody will know who he is. So, you know, but for the most part, women are not checking for them. They settling for them if they even deal with them. Or they don't feel like they can do better. Because remember hypergamy. If they feel like they can get that money man, or even like that real fine good bar type, oh shit, they going for that. So, anyway. I want y'all to keep all that consideration. I'm trying to tell you. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.